Tom Taylor. Rodeo was 1966, the summer of 1966. I was in the motorcycle drill team, and I was the gun bearer for Charles Gesford. Okay, I'm going to explain the story about the gun bearer. Charlie Gesford would take a pistol, and we had an umbrella type effect. He had balloons tied on it, and he would spin it around, and as they spun around, Charlie would shoot the balloons. And then they released some balloons, and he would shoot them as they're going up into the sky. And he would always let one get away. And when he let one get away, I would be on the sidelines, and he would call a motion for me with a rifle, and I'd run out there with a rifle and hand him the rifle. No one knew it, but there was birdshot in the rifle, and he'd pick off the last balloon, and the crowd would go crazy.
Jerry Wilson.
Okay.
I was a troop B out of Powanda.
Okay.
I rode the mounted drill. I rode musical chairs. I did precision jumping, fire jumping, and a rifle drill.
And in what year, sir, did you do that?
So that was in 1970, 1971, and 1972. Best detail I ever had on the job.
Yes, sir.
Joseph B. Matuella. The years I was in the rodeo, 1952 to 1962. And the acts I performed.
Okay.
I was in the mounted drill, the rifle drill, the what we used to call the Indian act is calisthenics, I guess, or whatever. And I participated in the dog acts. And that about sums it up.
My name's Doug Jackson. I was on the rodeo in 1971, 72, 73, 74, and the last one, and I'm not quite sure, that was held at the Farm Show Arena.
76.
So 1976 I was on that. I was in the musical ride, I did props for the clown dogs. I posted for the trick riders. I was in the silent manual of arms and several other prop activities. Great years of my life. I enjoyed every minute of it.
My name is Joseph Zeller. I was on the rodeo team in 1973 and 1974. We had a farm show after each year, 73, 74, and then we had a farm show in 1976 for the bicentennial, I believe. Also, I was on the dog team. I trained the dog Joe and Snow, and I was in the clown car and also participating several props for the rodeo team. It was the greatest organization I've ever been involved with, and I also wish it never would have ended. Thank you.
My name's David A. McGarvey. I was in the rodeo from 1962 to 1965. I was in the motorcycle drill and prop man.
Bob Caruso. I was probably 10 years in the rodeo. I rode under our distinguished major, Tom Martin, who was way ahead of his time. He always wanted 10-in-1 men. When I was in the rodeo, you just did one thing. I was in the dog act, I was in the rifle drill, I was in the Indian act, I was in the gymnastic act, and I was in the dog act.
Hi, I'm David Jane. I was in the rodeo in 69, 70, 71, and 72. I was a gymnast and did stunts on the motorcycle and the motorcycle drill. And prop man, of course. Prop man was probably what I'm most famous for.
Hi, I'm William J. Williams. I was in the rodeo in 1968. I was in the rifle drill, the horse drill, and of course the props, and every other detail.
Sure. My name is Ed Long. I was in the rodeo in 1965 and 1966. I was part of the motorcycle drill team. I was also a trick rider on the Indian motorcycles.
I'm John McIninch. I rode with the rodeo team in 1971 and 72. I rode with the mounted drill team with the horses and also the jumping act.
Okay, my name is Harrison Balthaser. I was in the rodeo 1960, and the acts I performed was the mounted detail, the motorcycles, military drill. Also, I rode in the various parades on weekends, different locations in Pennsylvania.
Tony Kolensik. I was in the rodeo from 1968 to 1974. I was involved in the mounted drill, rifle drill, and trick riding and gymnast. And I also rode in some bobtail shows and parades.
Okay, I'm Dale Zartman. I was in the rodeo in 1962 and 63. Then I went back to the Troop T, and I came permanently to the State Police Academy in 1968, December. And then I was in the rodeo till they disbanded in 1975, I believe.
And what acts were you in, sir?
I was on the mounted detail, and I also was in the canine unit. Yes, I was in the clown act. I also played the female act in the car act, and I was also in what they had was a rifle drill. I used to be in the rifle drill also.
Leon E. Krebs, or Gene.
And the years you were in the rodeo again?
1962 and 1963.
And the acts you remember performing in?
The mounted rifle drill, or the mounted drill team, the rifle drill team, and gymnastics on a stationary horse, old Seamus.
My name is Glenn Cousins. I was in the rodeo 11 years, and I was in motorcycles and horses, dressage horses, trick horses. I trick rode in the horses, I trick rode in the motorcycles, and I was in the motorcycle drill team. While I was at the academy over there, I trained a horse over there when he got off the truck and he came to the academy, and I trained, and I won the cup, the second and third legs of that Challenge Trophy Cup at the Devon Horse Show. And we competed against the New York City Police, the Fairmont Park Guards in Philadelphia, and the Washington, D.C. Park Guards from D.C. I'm kind of proud of that accomplishment.
Eddie. Okay, my name's Robert Van Noy. I was in the rodeo from 64 to 69 and again in 72. I was in gymnastics, props for dogs, trick riding on the motorcycles, trick riding on the horses, motorcycle drill, motorcycle truck driver in between, and I'm the one that bought Sam the donkey to the academy to put him in one show.
Okay, Carl Mindler, 67, 68. I was in 67 I was in the horse drill team and the rifle drill team, and in 68 I was in the horse drill team and the brush jumping and the fire hoop jumping and also the rifle team.
Okay, Shorty Merritt out of Punxsutawney. I was in the rodeo from 69 through 71. I was a horse rider in the jumping acts, opening acts, rifle drill, you name it, we did it. The only thing I didn't ride was motorcycles. Other than that, I had a fantastic time.
First, my name is Victor Dove, and I was in the rodeo. Farm show was my first time I was on the rodeo. That was in January of 71. And then I was on the rodeo 71, 72, and 73. The summer of 73 was my last year on the rodeo. And I was in the main drill. I did the main drill. And then I also did the gymnastics team. All 3 years I was on the gymnastics team. shoulder stand, jump over the horse, 3 men on a horse. Various acts with gymnastics team, the rifle team. I was on the rifle drill team.
Ray Albert, and I got out of the academy in '68, so it had to be the rodeo in '69, and I also believe 1970, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was 2 years.
And what acts were you in, sir?
Riding the horse in the drill, and they had rifle drills back then, and basically those 2 acts.
Okay, Jim Minnick. 1968, 1969. I was in the Silent Manual of Arms and the horse drill.
Okay, my name is Rich Grazel. I was on the rodeo from 1970 through 74. I was motorcycle drill team and also the motorcycle trick driver.
Bob Kirkin. I was in the rodeo from 1968, 69, and 70. I rode in the horse drill, the motorcycle drill, motorcycle trick rider, and a horse trick rider. And I'm still paying for it today with the pains.
My name is Pete Chimenti. I was on the rodeo from 1970 till the end, which was a farm show of 75. And I was in the motorcycle drill team, and also I drove for a lot of the tricks on the old Indians. I was the guy that jumped over about 10 troopers up a ramp through a flaming keystone. Now, Bill Riley, who left the job early, he originally did that with an old Indian, and it was so heavy that when he would land, he would take a divot in the football field about 4 inches deep and about 6 feet long. So we discontinued that, and they bought me a 350 Kawasaki, and that's what I did to jump with.
Okay, my name is William C. Fiscus, and I rode the rodeo in 1959 and 1960. I was on the gymnast team, rifle drill team, and I started into trick riding until I fell, and I was fortunate I didn't get hurt, but I fell, and that was enough to stop the trick riding.
My name is Bob Wellborn. Okay, the years that I was in the rodeo were 1973 until the termination of the rodeo, at which time I was part of the permanent party. The rodeo acts that I was involved in was the musical chairs, which was my favorite, the 32-man ride, the rifle drill, which we all regretted, and I was also in the dog act. My experience with the rodeo was one of the greatest experiences of my life. Being a part of that cemented something in my life that I'll never forget. And when I express it to others who have no knowledge of it, they indicated to me that they could see the joy that I had during that period. But other than that, okay, one of the greatest experience I've ever had in my life. And it's good to be here with all the old rodeo dudes, if you want to say. Thank you.
Okay, Frank Bozick was in a rodeo from 56, 57, and 58. And I was in a rifle drill team and the serpentine ride.
My name is Michael Joseph Holloran. I was in the rifle drill, the normal, what was it, 40-man drill or so, what would they call that?
The mounted drill?
Yeah, mounted drill, yeah. And mounted drill and the rifle. I was in the summer show in 58 and the winter show in 59. That was it. I got too fat and they threw me off.
Okay, my name is Joseph Kolakowski, and I was in the rodeo from 59 to 65. and I also was participated in the rodeo, the riding horse drill, and the rifle drill, and also performed in the rode in the Kennedy's inaugural parade.
Everybody calls me Jack. I was in the rodeo. Well, I started at the academy in December of '60, the first class at the new school. So from '61 through the farm show in '65. That's when I was on the rodeo detail.
And the acts that you performed?
I was a motorcycle rider on the motorcycle drill team, the stunt team, also the rifle squad.
Hi, my name's Alfred Irvin, Al Irvin. I was on the rodeo from when I first come on the job. My first summer on the job was 1969. I rode as a field rider in 69, 70, 71. In 1971, I was requested to come to the staff at the academy to work with the special services unit, to be with the rodeo detail and the academy staff. And I did the dogs. I was primarily involved with the dog acts. I did work with the horses, and I did the clown routines, and I did the Sergeant Schlepperman routine and some other clown routines within the rodeo. It was very enjoyable. I was as a staff member, I was on the last rodeo too in farm show of '76, and I remained with the horse unit at the academy, and I taught at the academy for the rest of my career. Thank you.
My name is Howard I. Endy, E-N-D-Y. I was on the rodeo since 1962 till '76 when it ended. I was in the clown act, and also was in the motorcycle drill, and also in the motorcycle trick riding. And then while I was at the academy, I was invited to go out to Milwaukee to the factory to work on motorcycles.
All right, George March. And the years you were in the rodeo? 1970, 1 year. And the acts you performed in? I was on the motorcycle drill team, also in the motorcycle trick riders.
Okay, Glenn Steingrave.
And
was on the State Police Rodeo in 1969 and 1970.
And the acts?
I was a trick rider on horses.
Hey, my name is Bob Buchanan. I was in the rodeo in 1968 and part of '69. I was in the mounted horse drill and the rifle drill.
Okay, my name's Jim B, or call me Bumble. Started rodeo, we went out in December of '71, or '72. I was in the '73 farm show until the rodeo folded. I did the musical ride, the fire, jump, gymnast, rifle drill, of course, everybody did that, and musical chairs did that also.
Okay, my name's John Shoemaker.
And the acts you were in, sir?
Okay, the acts I was in the drill, the rifle drill, fire jumping, tandem jumping, the car jump, the dogs, aero balloon shooting, the high school act, and the finale.
And the years you performed?
I came on in '69 till the rodeo ended, and I need help there.
Summer '74, winter of '76.
I was in both those.
I'm John Worthy. I rode in the rodeo from '62, '63, and '64. I rode on the mounted detail. I also was in the aerial balloon shoot. and the rifle drill. I also made 2 trips with the mounted detail to Portland, Oregon and Dallas, Texas, 2 different years to represent the state in the American Legion annual convention that they held.
Okay, Doug Reitenauer, and I was assigned to the Academy staff as part of the Special Service section in 1969, so I was on a rodeo 69, 70, and I think 71. It's also a rodeo farm show, and that was my duties were basically to ride the horses, and I also performed the blacksmithing as a part of that period of time when Trooper Breadbender, who was our permanent blacksmith, was off with an arm and hand operation. My responsibilities in the rodeo were to ride the fire hoops, the mounted drill, the collegiate mounts, the brush jumps, and spent some time on bobtail events and so forth.
I'm Bud Wills. I rode the rodeo detail in 1971 and did the musical ride, did the rifle drill, was involved with the jumping program with the horses, and pretty much did all the grounds work. We all did that. Everybody was on the crew for that. But that was my main ones, was the rifle drill, the musical ride, and did the jumping.
John S. Cabbage. I was in 1957, 58, 59, and the farm show of 60. I was a straight rider. I was in the rifle detail.
My name is Larry Tutek. I was in the rodeo in 1958 and 1959. I performed in straight rider. I was a straight rider. I was in the rifle drill, and I was also on the gymnastic team.
Joe Donnelly. I was a trick rider on the horses and a trick rider on the motorcycles.
And the years, sir, you performed?
61 to 63.
All right.
Par 4.
Mike Dice. I rode from the summer of 61 to the summer of 68. I was in the motorcycle drill. I was in the motorcycle tricks. I was Sergeant Schlepperman in the clown car. I was in the clown balloon shooting. George Parr.
And the years you were in the rodeo?
1958 to 1962.
And the acts you performed in?
I rode as a trick rider in the rifle drill, the Indian act where we did tricks over a standing horse. We shot balloons off of horseback. We lanced rings, and that's about it. I worked on the advanced detail, going ahead of the usual troops and erecting the tents, putting up the picket lines.
My name is Jim Anderson. I did trick riding on horseback and gymnastics.
And the years you performed in the rodeo?
1964 and 1965.
Hey, my name is Bill Cute. I was in the rodeo for 2 years, 1962 and 63, and I rode the motorcycles.
My name's Jim Adams. You don't want my age, right?
Nah, unless you want to give it.
Okay. The years you were in the rodeo was 1968 to 1974. The acts I performed in was the horse drill, burning hoops, brush jumps,
and on rare occasions a high school act, and part of the advanced detail with Sergeant Red Gessford and Corporal Ray Critchfield. And I helped Squeaky Brett Benner shoe horses.
My name is Frank Rusnak. Was on the detail from 71 to 74. Per se the axe. Was on the advanced detail. Rode the drill. Ring lancing. Rifle drill. And that's about it. One thing I want to add. Best bunch of guys I ever worked with in my life. God bless them all.
My name is Greg Stone, and I was on a rodeo detail for 3 summers, 1972, 1973, and 1974. And then I was on the farm show detail, 73, 74, 75, and 76. And so I had 3 years in the summer, and I had 4 years in the at the farm show, and I trick rode on the horses all the 4 years.
My name's Ted Taylor, and I was in the rodeo in the farm show 74, the last rodeo 1975, the farm show in 76. I was a trick rider and a gymnast, and I really enjoyed the rodeo days.
Okay, I'm Joe Dragon. I was in the rodeo from 1971 to 76. I was in the mountie unit, did the musical ride, ring lancing, musical chairs, the 4-way jumping, rifle drill, and the closing act.
My name is Blaine Kuhn, and I was in the rodeo 62, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I was part of the trick riding, horseback trick riding team, and the acrobatic gymnastics team. And that was what I did while I was in the rodeo.